for the worse. Anyway, yeah. So Mr. Mike the Swatches, we would talk all the time. Whenever I go, he always receive me. And he was the center point, somebody I could talk to. He was working a Jewish shop, and Mr. Roy, the owner of the businessman, owner of the shop, received me well because of Mike. And he smiled at me. Hey, dog, what's up, man? How you doing, man? You doing good? Sometimes he has me move my car if he has to get business going. Maybe I stayed there for too long. The guy is strict, his money, he's rolling. Anyway, peace, bro. Shout out. Anyway, so Mike the Swatches was already there. There's another friend of Mike also, Menji. And I found out more about Menji when he told me later on. I didn't know he was that loaded. But Mike the Swatches was a vital point for the development of my book. I met his uncle, I met other people through him, but he was the guy. I talked to him, I fill up my thing, and then go type my stuff. But when the book was being typed, the black book, I would go to the library and there would be people, maybe like King Solomon, or not to be grandiose, but there were different people would need to sit down, because that was a task I was given to do. So different people, like 7, 8, 9, 10 people would sit down before I start typing, because he was being inspired. So the entities have to download or upload those people, put them in position so that I can function. I'm typing at the speed that is not mine, and the book was being inspired pretty much. And there was one day when I was describing the Jewish clouds. It was so cloudy, and I don't think airplane could fly then. It was too cloudy. And every day there was those changes and the development. You can see the changes in the clouds, the different changes, and so on. So I'm giving secrets, but that was a phenomenon that happened. I said, wow, that's something big. I felt like that was a big project for that simple guy like me, seeing all those evolvement, just writing a book. But maybe it was necessary. The Lord wanted to use me to achieve as much to do that. So I want to honor Mr. Mike the Swatches. Stay alive, brothers, live long. And there was this guy the guy was initiated, but later on he may have suffered some stroke. I don't know if he was castasized. Is that the word? I don't know what that was. If he was punished for talking to me, or no, maybe I don't think so. But I would go to his business, sit down, and he's a musician. I'm a musician. We talk music, we talk life, and from time to time he would give a little of input. Mr. Edouard Mathieu, musician, guitar player, nice guy, bodybuilder, and I wish him well as well. But the last time I saw him, he may have suffered some medical setbacks, so I don't know how much he has recovered. But many things, but there's more to say about this guy. He would always tell me about certain books, certain good books. Have you read that book? Have you read that book? Because he read all of them. This guy read like 50, 80 books, maybe 200 books, and his fraternity, and he has all the stuff. He's comfortable with them. He would not tell me a lot of stuff. But he would sit down, talk to me, and question my understanding, and he wanted me to have more. Mr. Edouard Mathieu. So, il était un pilier dans le projet. Je dirais quand même. Il était très réceptif. But when he wanted his numbers, he would talk to me, what day is today? The 17th? He would ask me a question about numbers, and he would go and play and win. Bam, 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 win the number. People were winning. They were winning. That's because that's the phenomenon. Me, I cannot win, people win. That's the way it is. That's good, but he was Edouard Mathieu winning. So he has his own way of talking and getting what? Maybe his family tree help him win, or I know the people who don't know that much, but who win also. They have dreams and they win. Yeah. Was that video necessary? And I have my childhood, long-time friend also. He was a very big-time contributor in the project, especially during my setbacks, now working in my field, and I was involved in writing books. So he supported the project. So I honor him in the book, Mr. Lucien, and and his family. I honor all the Lucien in my book. I'm grateful growing up. I would go to music to camp, youth camp, interact with, interacting with young Americans, 15 years old, 17, 20, 21. From 15 to 18, 19, 20, I was always interacting with white folks, and youth camp, playing basketball together, spiritual, in the Bible, eating, drinking together, playing together. And also, I have had that, and when I went to music camps for 3, 4, 5 years, and there would be Americans, professors, big time doctor in music, and some have masters, and they would come and teach music. We would stay together for 2 weeks, learning theory and practice. I've learned to play different instruments and reading music in that manner. But there was Mr. Donald Victor. He was the one who started me on reading book, playing bass while reading, and then showing me the techniques. But other guys also that I know from my hometown, Mr. Claude Jodas, he was already playing. He was growing, but he was not the mastermind. Really, he was Mr. Donald. But then I saw another friend, Michel-Ange Joseph. That friend, he was sweet. His first instrument was trumpet, but he was sweet playing the saxophone. I put him in a band. I was playing bass in the band. I put him in the band, the biggest church in Cap Haitian, Église Baptiste de la Rue 14. So I put him in the band to play saxophone because he was a band leader of his pastors, of his father's church in another village where we grew up. So kind of we're close. But we became friends, and he was playing sax. I was playing bass in the band, and there were a group of other guys. And C playing the keyboard. Uh, yeah, Josue playing the keyboard, AD playing the guitar, and so on. And then we had Petrus, another guy, in the back of the band. He was the financial guy, well loaded. They own hotels, chains, and stuff like that. He was in the business, so the guy was, I don't want to say too much, but he had that beautiful sister that was a singer who actually married my cousin. She married my cousin. But then that was the attraction for Michel-Ange to come to the band too, because that lady was there. She was beautiful, and he likes that. I love the bass. I was playing good bass, but then the guy got the love. I see, man, he's playing sweet. He got the attraction. Man, let me go learn some trumpet and saxophone. And he started teaching me trumpet, and from there was a church in Cap Haitian from Pastor Enoch, regretté de mémoire, et Lucien. I used to go to his church, and Michel-Ange too. We started building the church, playing music together. I was the drummer then. Yeah, I was learning to play drum. And the music came, so I was the drummer. Nobody could replace me then because I enjoyed the drums then. If you're talking from a professional standpoint, from the bass to the drums, drum bass, but really I became the drummer. I was enjoying playing the drum there. Anyway, yeah. I'm saying a lot about my memory here, crystallizing everything. Not necessary. You don't have to listen to all that. You will never listen to that. That's the boring moment. That's the boring video after I've saying the essential. Yeah, but I wanted to honor them guys who contributed in the production of the Yellow Book, the Black Book, Mr. Mike Desroches. I talk about the doctors already who contributed. Many other people have contributed, but those were the vital points, the vital guys. The two doctors, Mike Desroches, Mr. Edouard Mathieu, and that friend that at the end supported the project from a financial standpoint, and I did my contribution. Actually, I sold my car, and I invested $5,000 of my money, to pay for to publish the book, the power of illumination from a godly perspective. It's my own money. I sold my car to make it happen. And it took me time. I still owe $500 to finish that payment of that Black Book, but it's out there, and it's a great book. And then the yellow one, work on it too, and then It was kind of a perfect performance, as I said, and then it was published. But the very first book, it was 15 pages. Somebody bought it outright, kind of, and there's a special spirit behind this book. Somebody needed it, and what they bought it for. Excuse me, they bought it for me or they got it, whatever. I wish I could expand it to 100 pages. I don't know if I'm ready to do it, or if I'm gonna do it. It's a different concept about the afterlife. Nobody wants to talk about the afterlife if you're in this life. So you can say very little, minimum, and keep it there. So maybe somebody has to read. If you're dying, you want 15 more years, you read those 15 pages, or I don't know if it's gonna be 50 pages or 30. But for now, it is what it is. I don't want to talk about it. I want to enjoy this one, if I can. So do you. That have been said now. And there was another lady who came in. We grew up together. Now she wanted to bite me. She was kind to see me, but she wanted to bite me outright. Like own me. Not her. Her spirit want to own me. But that spirit, that family spirit, people have different engagement in the other life. And when they die, that's very important. Maybe that's the most important thing I'm saying. I hope I'm not hurting myself or hurting my father, hurting nobody. Yeah. So when somebody dies, they leave a treasure behind. We call the soul, the actual body. There's something they left behind for the family. That's the treasure. The spirit go, the body go somewhere, but the treasure stay behind. That's why, the Lord say, tu es Pierre. Si tu es Pierre, je bâtirai mon église. Tu es Pierre, you are Peter. On that rock, I will build my church. That's what our Lord Jesus says. So when he was dying, he trusted Peter and trusted his soul to Peter, if Peter was there. Because when he come back to life, he had to see the guy that he knew to recover his memory again. That was powerful, even though it was only for 3 days. So people build things on other people. That was in the previous life, or somebody departed, they left something for someone else to work on. And that's the treasure in family. Some family are rich because they keep building on what the parents left behind for them, memory-wise, understanding-wise, what they live in heritage. That's what life is. It's a recycling phenomenon. If you can say that, it may not be recycling per se, but because I'm not God. In our Christian Bible, life is perceived differently. They don't say you will come back. You may come back and live again, or do you stay in the other life and still living in the other life and keep going up in the other life? I don't want to debate that terminology, but yeah, you might meet somebody, they're nice with you because something on them sees something good in you. Now we make a deal, but now if they have their own contract or obligation because of parental engagement, so every time they want to take advantage of your unfortunate situation so that they can capitalize. So if a price has to pay, you have to pay the price. Or somebody a friend, any other friend can pay the price because your engagement with them, or they want entry to achieve something, or somebody has to suffer. See, every time the pain is going their way, they're trying to shift it your way. So that's complicated, but I don't want to accuse nobody. But when we're making deals, that's important to know. And how much somebody wants of you to keep you as the underdog forever. This way they can always manipulate you or use you or for whatever they have to do. And then whenever they want to put sadness to your soul, and then they fuel the system by bringing you down and crushing you down and putting pain. So if you are producing treasure from your family, so somebody wants to capitalize, and they might end up choosing to bring sadness to you, and you have to fight that. And that's why we pray for God to protect us, so we can remain relevant in our production and so on. Okay, God bless you, my brothers and sisters. So this video was just talking. I wanted to honor some people. So yeah. So I'm not there yet, as far as I was giving address earlier, but I have some friends at 129A North Dixie Highway, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. You can try to mail something there if you want. If they get it, put WJP. If they get it, we'll break it down in three or we'll do something with it. There's a church nearby, but there's a pastor and there's a businessman. He has a radio broadcaster. And I pass by from time to time and talk business or to chat. Doesn't mean I don't have an address. I do, but you understand, this is not the house. This is the business. So hopefully, if I come back here to have an office, you have it, and we stay in touch. Just wanted to say something. Don't forget the email wisphill27@gmail.com. God bless. So I didn't do everything by myself. Many people contributed. And my sisters, not to mention, and the husbands are vital there. And the other friends that I've done. Random people I meet around when those book was being but we know we continue to go. I don't know how far we've gone, but we've gone up. Met different other people around, and they bring in even more than what we had. And this is treasure, knowledge, power, the love, and we've been hit hard. So I lost a couple of guys. That basketball Hall of Famer, maybe he would have not died if I didn't have certain engagement. We could have prevented it. So people take advantage, they get into the secretary and they bring down other people. Maybe a pastor would have not died either if there was not that engagement. Many other things would have not happened. People take advantage of the friends that you know so they can use the soul of God. Stay blessed.